In the Phone Wars 2013 series here on My Next Appliance, we're covering all the flagship smartphones from Apple, Google, Samsung, Nokia, and Motorola. Don't be left out.
Subscribe.
This second episode is about the flagship HTC Windows Phone 8X and the HTC Windows Phone 8S. That was a mouthful.
Fun fact.
HTC stands for High Tech Computer Corporation. So far, 2012 has been a bad year for HTC. From April to June, it shipped 9 million devices, while Samsung shipped over 50 million. In July, revenues were down 45% year over year. CEO Peter Chow even admitted the fast growth from the last 2 years has slowed us down. The weird thing is that the HTC One X was actually reviewed as
one of the best mobile devices I've ever used.
And
a masterpiece.
What happened?
HTC blames Samsung's and Apple's success on their huge marketing budgets. For example, Samsung's marketing budget is 6 times HTC's budget, and I won't even start with Apple. So even though carriers have always stood by HTC, when they saw how much money Samsung spent to market the Galaxy S3, they jumped ship. After all, isn't it easier to sell a device when the OEM is willing to fork over millions to promote it? But starting in November 2012, HTC will get a fresh start with the first flagship Windows 8 phone, and Microsoft's marketing money. This isn't the first time the two companies worked together. They made the first touchscreen pocket computer, the first Microsoft-powered smartphone, and the first Microsoft 3G phone. Today, both HTC and Nokia are lining up behind Microsoft to ride the Windows 8 marketing tidal wave. Microsoft needs Windows 8 to succeed as an alternative mobile platform that can compete with Google and Apple, and for the sake of competition, I really hope it does well. For the 8X, the two differentiating hardware features are the cameras and sound. Besides the standard flagship camera specs, it has a 28mm lens for wider shots, but the front camera is the most impressive thing at 2.1 megapixels, and HTC is using its own image processor to handle images. To address the weak sound coming out of most smartphones, HTC integrates a Beats amplifier that dynamically tweaks treble and bass based on the type of music played. Under the hood, there's the popular 1.5 GHz dual-core Snapdragon S4 Plus processor, 1 GB of RAM, 16 GB of storage, all these sensors, a 6.66 watt-hour battery, Bluetooth 2.1, dual-band Wi-Fi, and an NFC chip. And of course, it has LTE. On the outside, it has a 4.3 720p Gorilla Glass Super LCD 2 screen encased in a unibody matte polycarbonate case. And if the case is anything like Nokia's Lumia phones, it should hold up pretty well against scratches. The design of the devices are inspired by live tiles and Windows 8 software, HTC Director of Public Relations Tom Harlan. So of course colors are a big deal, with California Blue, Graphite Black, Flame Red, and Limelight Yellow. The president said HTC will position the 8X and 8S as the signature phones of Windows Phone 8. My thoughts: why no Bluetooth 4.0? And why no micro SD support? But overall, the phone hits all the right marks. The screen is a great size, and I hope I get my hands on one to review. The HTC Windows Phone 8S is smaller with a 4-inch 800 by 600 screen. Under the hood, it has 1 GHz Snapdragon S4, 512 megs of RAM, one 5-megapixel camera, single-band Wi-Fi, 6.29 watt-hour battery, no LTE, and no front camera. It only has 4 gigs of storage, but at least you get a micro SD slot for more capacity. And it wouldn't be a Windows Phone unless it comes in all these colors. Both phones ship in November on AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, and many other international carriers. But really, the other half of the story is the software. I'll post a link to a review if I can get around to it. So what do you think? Subscribe for the next episodes of Phone Wars as we continue to go over the flagship 2013 phones that will be competing this holiday season. Thanks subscribers for all your feedback, positive and negative. I really wish I had more time and a faster computer to create more content. Still working on one of these. For new viewers, please support the channel by hitting that subscribe button, checking the box for email notifications, and following me on Twitter where I post pre-releases and good tech deals.